Hi lovely people, welcome and welcome back to my channel. Like I am sure many of you, are impatiently waiting for SZA's new project titled Lana, which I am still unsure whether it's actually a deluxe version of S.O.S or its own separate EP, but either way, I am looking forward to more new music from SZA. Recently, in promotion for Lana, SZA, who was also named as Variety's Hitmaker of the Year, sat down with the publication to also discuss the impact of her sophomore album S.O.S, her 9 Grammy nominations, and also provided a breakdown of some of her most iconic lyrics. When SZA was asked about the lyrics of the song she wrote titled Consideration, which eventually became the opener track to Rihanna's album Anti, SZA, in her usual open and honest nature, described the emotion she felt when she had to give up her song.
SZA said, quote, "I cared so much. I was so just frustrated, and I felt like I'll never have anything this cool again. I'll never make anything this cool again. Consideration was supposed to be the centerpiece of my album, while for Rihanna, it was just a part of her album. I was like, please no. I had just shot a video for it, and I was about to drop it in a couple of days. It was already done, whatever conversation label-wise, whatever. So it was just a matter of accepting it, and in hindsight, it was so hard to go and accept. But now it's I'm so glad that happened. It didn't cost me anything. If anything, I just gained a bunch from it. And I thank God that I made cool music outside of that. I don't know why I just really thought that my creativity would just stop and this was just the pinnacle of what I could make. If she has it, then I'll just never be anything," unquote.
Naturally, there were some people on the platform X who reacted to SZA's statement, reminiscing about the origin of the track and SZA's seemingly inconsistent narrative over the years of how the song landed on Rihanna's album. There's this one tweet that said, "First they love you, then they switch," and another tweet that said, "So Rihanna stole this song from SZA, kept SZA on it and added her own magic to it, put her on a highly anticipated album. SZA gets the most exposure of her career. A win is a win." And I saw this last tweet that said, "Rihanna didn't know all this obviously because it was played during her writing camp. Glad it went to her and glad SZA was featured on it. It's a standout track. So funny how life works out." As the last tweet noted, this is a fact SZA has spoken about over the years since the release of Rihanna's Anti. I feel like it's safe to say that the song Consideration definitely helped catapult SZA into a wider mainstream audience, and mainly for people like myself who were not initially familiar with SZA's first 3 EPs, but became fans upon hearing her work on Consideration to later anticipate her debut album Control, which was released in 2017. As a side note, please be sure to check out my Rihanna Anti-Deep Dive video where we discuss the super rocky and chaotic timeline of events leading up to the Anti release. Given SZA's recent statement about Consideration and her interviews over the years when asked about the song, I can see why some members of the Navy are now feeling a type of way about SZA's comments. A few months after Anti was released in 2016, SZA spoke to the Huffington Post about working with Rihanna and performing Consideration with her at the 2016 Brit Awards by saying, quote, "It was definitely just a random blessing. I made a song Rihanna connected to, and it just happened. She was super humble, just about everything. So it was really just a warm moment," unquote. SZA also went on to say about the performance that, quote, "That was crazy. I was totally unprepared for that. That's all I can say about it. I was totally unprepared. I've never done anything like that, like an award show. Even rehearsing for it, I was like, what is this," unquote. A month later, in June 2016, when SZA was being interviewed by Live Nation, SZA spoke on the collaboration and said, quote, "Originally, it was a song I wrote for my album. Then we bonded. If there's anybody that I can imagine singing my words, it would be her. She has the same tone, the same attitude. She's so strong. Aside from just being beautiful, Rihanna doesn't give a F, and she just does what she wants. I love it. I actually haven't processed it at all. I remember asking her if it was a setup. I was like, 'Are you sure you want to be on a song with me?' And she just laughed at me and said, 'Yes. I didn't think it was going to happen. It's a blessing, and it's a move in the right direction. I just don't even know how it feels because I'm just shocked," unquote. In January 2017, ahead of the release of her debut album Control, SZA spoke to Billboard, in which she spoke on Rihanna again by saying, quote, "She wanted to work with me, and I played some jams that I was working on for myself, and it went from there. Rihanna doesn't give a F about anyone around her. She's in her own space at all times, but she's not rude. She's comfortable. As a shy person, that was something cool to witness," unquote. In December 2019, SZA received backlash from social media when she responded to a since-deleted tweet from a fan page that said, "Consideration was originally written and recorded by SZA for her debut album. Rihanna overheard it at the studio, asked for it, and made it the opening track for her album Anti," in which SZA responded by saying, "LMAO, true." Once again, there were a few fierce members of the Navy that reacted by saying, "I don't think SZA meant anything by that, but it's also old news and doesn't need to be brought up. SZA still seems to be a little upset by it, which is understandable, but like, I doubt she would have blown up the way she did without that Rihanna cosign, so she should have just sat there and ate her food. And there's another tweet that said, y'all realize how nice Rihanna is to even feature SZA on her opening track on the most anticipated album after 4 years of no album? Anti had only 2 collabs that included her, who at the time wasn't as known. She then flew her to the Brits to perform it with her. Ungrateful. She could have bought the song, sung it, and never even acknowledged SZA, but only on writing credits. Like, please. This topic of consideration was revisited in 2020 when SZA was the cover star for Wonderland magazine, where she was asked about her first time working with Pharrell. SZA said, quote, "The first time he was in the room with Rihanna, and stunned for him is how I lost consideration. Rihanna's like, I'm taking this song and there's nothing you can do about it, but I'm gonna do it justice. Punch gave me strict instructions not to play anything from my album, but I wasn't about to go in there to a room with him and Rihanna and play the flops. I'm playing Drew Barrymore and I'm playing Consideration. I'm playing everything I have. But Punch says, I'm telling you, do not do this. So we agreed that I wasn't going to do that. Then I walk in, Pharrell is sitting there drinking wine, and I guess my hands just slipped and I played my album. I played Control," unquote. Fast forward to 2023, the origins of Consideration is yet again being discussed, and I can understand why some fans are tired of hearing about it. I don't think SZA means any harm when she responds to these questions because obviously it was initially her song, and this is her honest truth. But I get why fans are confused by SZA's inconsistencies over the years, and then perceiving her comments as her saying Consideration was taken from her, as opposed to SZA voluntarily offering her track to a world-renowned pop star. When this latest situation happened, I saw people on social media liken this situation to when apparently Rihanna almost took Tinashe's title track Joyride from Tinashe's Joyride album released in 2018. Apparently, the song Joyride was co-written by Tinashe, Travis Scott, and Hit Boy, but it was later bought by Rihanna. Tinashe said, quote, "I remember texting Travis like, yo, this is my ish. I want to name my album Joyride. Then he started dating Rihanna and he kind of iced me out. It messed up our relationship for a while. I don't think I spoke to him for 6 months, but I guess eventually she didn't use the song and I was like, I still want it. Can I have it back? So I got it back, revamped it, took Travis off it, and now it's a new day," unquote. Tinashe also later said, quote, "We bought it back. It's kind of crazy and I'm not even 100% sure what happened. We created the track, I wanted it for my project, then all of a sudden I found out, I was told, that she had purchased the whole concept and beat for her project. Eventually, when that didn't come out on her project, I was like, yep, I still want it. I named my album after it," unquote. As a side note, I hate that era was kind of chaotic for Tinashe due to all of her label issues because the Joyride album had a lot of potential. Tinashe also spoke on the similarities to her situation and how Rihanna ended up using SZA's Consideration by saying, quote, "At least Rihanna left SZA on the song. That's nice. It's interesting because you're collaborating with a lot of different people who are also adding pieces and parts to your music. So when that happens, you have to have a good amount of synergy. It is a business and there are business opportunities that people want to take. For me, it's about maintaining the core and staying focused on making the best music," unquote. All in all, I'm sure SZA received her credits, publishing, and royalties she rightfully earned and deserved for her contributions to Consideration. If it was anything of the contrary, then I'm sure SZA and her team would have taken legal action if the situation needed to be escalated to that point. Like this one comment from Sia, the artist spoke on working with Rihanna by saying, "She doesn't take publishing if she doesn't write on it," and I love that about her because a lot of artists were like, I want a little bit so that people think, and Rihanna, she's never asked for something. With all things considered, no pun intended, this was one of the best possible scenarios to happen for SZA at the time. I, like many people across the world, was waiting for a new Rihanna album, and by the time we got it, we hear this great song featuring this relatively unknown artist by the name of SZA, and the rest is history. I could imagine as a songwriter, it is tough to let go one of your songs to another artist, but hopefully she realizes that everything happened the way it should have happened. Let me know in the comments what you all think of this situation. Do you think SZA is doing too much, or is she simply responding to the question she is being asked for the 100th time? Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and turn on your notification bell, and I'll see you next time.